Hey everybody, it's Dave here from Dragonhill Games. In this video we're going to be opening a bunch of THEROS Beyond Death booster packs in Arena. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying this set. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Oh, this is cool. Looks like the first time you get a new card, then they put a little sort of first thing above that. So that's really cool. Ooh, I started out with a mythic rare card, or a mythic wild card. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, like I was saying, I had a chance to play a little bit today. Some of the decks that are already out there are pretty bonkers. I'm going to be doing a few deck tech videos over the course of the next few weeks. I mean, some of the things I have in mind, I'm sure a lot of you kind of have these, you know, on your radar as well. But some of the things I have in mind are definitely, and the first one I'm going to try to tackle will be, oh, thank goodness I got this guy. I was just about to say one of the first decks I'm going to be tackling is mono white sort of aggro life gain strategy. So looking to have probably 3 of this guy in the deck. So really happy I opened one of those early for sure. But I mean, the deck's obviously going to include things like Daxos and, you know, some of the new, there's that new Tartanica guy. He's like the 2 white and 1, and when he attacks, he turns another one of your guys into a 4/4 indestructible and basically untaps it sort of until end of turn. So yeah, gonna definitely be including some of those guys, and you know, it's a life gain deck, so I am actually gonna throw this guy in there. I really like this guy. I want to give him a try. Alseed of a Life's Bounty for 1 white. He's a lifelink, and you can pay 1 and sacrifice Alseed of Life's Bounty. Target creature or enchantment you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. So just kind of a cool sort of standard, you know, Mother of Runes type effect. But definitely going to put that in the life gain deck because it is, you know, a lifelink, cheap lifelinker, and then sort of has some late game value with the sacrifice type effect. This card here is really cool. Althemia the Cacophony. So legendary enchantment creature for 1 black and 1. It's a flyer, and at the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So I think that card's gonna, it's definitely got some brewing potential with some sort of self-mill strategy for sure. These these demigods, they're all really solid, eh? Like the black one, Annex, I'm gonna be using the the red one, Annex. I'm gonna definitely be trying that in my Cavalcade deck for sure, because he just kind of you know, keeps the 1/1s coming. Every time they die, they sort of just get replaced by other 1/1 satyrs. So he is definitely gonna be, I'm definitely gonna be giving him a try in my Cavalcade deck for sure. This guy here is one that I haven't seen so far. So he is 2 blue and 3 legendary creature elemental, and he has a flash flying. He's an elemental giant. Flash and flying spells you cast with converted mana cost 5 or greater, cost 1 less to cast, and can't be countered. So what decks are you guys thinking of? Like, what brews are you guys thinking of? Why don't you let me know in the comment section below. Elspeth Conquers Death. 2 white and 3. It's a saga. The first step is exile target permanent and opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. I'm liking it already. And then step 2 is non-creature spells your opponents cast cost 2 more to cast until your next turn. And step 3 is return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter or a loyalty counter on it. Pretty cool. So yeah, I think that would be really good in sort of a limited environment for sure. Like I was saying, what you know, what are you guys planning on as some of your new brews? Why don't you let me know in the comment section below. Sweet. So we got a Cloithus, God of Destiny, and this guy is, as far as I know, he's the only multicolored god. I believe he is. Green and red and 1 legendary enchantment creature god. He is indestructible as long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7. Cloithos isn't a creature. Cloithus. Cloithus isn't a creature. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a land card, add a red or green. Otherwise, you gain 2 life, and Cloithus deals 2 damage to each opponent. Pretty sweet. It's always nice getting mythics for sure. Going back to, yeah, what I was saying, keep getting sort of sidetracked here, but yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you guys, some of your brew ideas. Is there certain decks, like, you know, you got anything sort of on the horizon? Is there a deck that you want to see a deck tech on? Why don't you let me know, and maybe it's something I can work on. E2 Extinction. So for 1 black and 3, exile target creature or planeswalker, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. Interesting. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. So it's kind of like a surveil one. Cool. Yeah, I actually like the spell. It'll be definitely really good and limited for sure. E2 Extinction, and the art on this set is pretty cool for sure. All right, we got here. I like this guy too. I think he's definitely got a place in possibly some sideboards. You can see him make a lot of appearances in commander decks too. Just kind of good solid value in things like commander. Nice, Nylea the Keen-Eyed. So for 1 green and 3, a legendary enchantment creature god. She, of course, is indestructible like all the gods are. As long as your devotion to green is less than 5, Nylea isn't a creature. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and you can pay a green and 2, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. Oh, sweet. Got some more Daxos too, so that's good. Like I said, I'm going to be using this guy for sure in my mono white life gain deck build. But yeah, doing pretty good. Getting some decent hits for sure. Got quite a few mythics already. I really like this Tectonic Giant. So 2 red and 2. He's a creature elemental giant. When Tectonic Giant attacks or becomes the target of a spell or an opponent controls, choose one. Either Tectonic Giant deals 3 damage to each opponent, or you can exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them, and until your next turn, you may play that card. I think this guy's definitely got a place in some sort of mono red aggro strategy. For sure in standard. I think him, you know, kind of Bone Crusher Giant, you know, maybe with the top end being Perforos or something like that, could definitely be a deck that could definitely see some play. So Treacherous Blessing is 2 black and 2. It's an enchantment, and when it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose 1 life, and when Treacherous Blessing becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. Speaking of mono red, wow, I ran into a deck today, and this deck was off the freaking charts. I mean, the thing was, so the guy turned 4, like he was playing on curve, turn 4, Wavebreak Hippocamp. I really like this card. 1 blue and 2 for an enchantment creature, Horsefish, and whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, draw a card. Really solid in any sort of control type strategy for sure. Anyway, like I was saying, this red deck was just off the charts. The guy was playing totally on curve. He didn't really do a whole lot for turn 1 and 2, and I think even turn 3, he kind of just puttered around. And I was thinking, you know, this deck's, I don't know if he had a bad draw or whatever. It was kind of Underworld Dreams, a reprint. 3 black. It's an enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Underworld Dreams deals 1 damage to that player. So I'm thinking his deck, you know, just kind of was petering out. And I was getting in there for quite a bit of damage. And all of a sudden, turn 4, I was playing Simic Flash. And turn 4, you know, out comes Fires of Invention. So I managed to counter that. And I was thinking I was in a pretty good spot. Nightmare Shepherd. So this guy is a demon. It's 2 black and 2 for an enchantment creature demon. Flying 4/4. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 and it's a nightmare in addition to its other types. So yeah, like I was saying, I ended up countering Fires of Invention on turn 4, and I thought I was in a pretty good spot. And then, wow, Elspeth. So yeah, been hitting the mythics pretty hard already. So I mean, I don't think I need to go over Elspeth. She was one of the very first cards spoiled. Everybody knows what she does. So yeah, then turn 4, he drops Perforos, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, he's got like, I think he had 3 cards left in his hand at the time. And I'm thinking, all right, whatever. So he's got a Perforos. So, well, doesn't he on the next turn pay the 3, drop the boar, Ilharg, the raise boar? So he drops Ilharg the raise boar, attacks with Ilharg the raise boar because it has haste because of Perforos. And what do you, I'll give you one guess of what he put into play with Ilharg when he attacked with it. Yeah, it was Drakuseth, that's right. So he basically just obliterated my board, did like 13 to my face, and it all kind of just happened for 3 mana. It was really sick. So yeah, that was a cool build. I mean, I think the Ilharg thing's been out there for a little while. You know, it was getting some play, I think, in Pioneer with like dropping in one of the Emrakul, the Promised End or whatever. So that's not really anything new, but it was just a shock for me to see it kind of in Standard like that. It just all happened so fast. And Drakuseth is just like, Drakuseth just wipes everything out, right? So another mythic. Yeah, like I said, we've been doing really well with these packs. I'm about halfway through, and man, just hammering out the mythics. So the Ox of Agonis is 2 red and 3. It's a creature Ox, a 4/2. When Ox of Agonis enters the battlefield, discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. And it has an escape, 2 red, exile 8 other cards from your graveyard. Ox of Agonis escapes with a +1/+1 counter on it. Not sure if I'm sold on this card. I mean, the exile cost is extreme. The escapes cost, sorry, is extreme. 2 red and 8 cards. When he enters the battlefield, you discard your hand, draw 3 cards. So that's pretty good in red. And I guess, you know, 5 is sort of the top end for red. So by the time we're actually, if we cast this from our hand, by the time we're actually doing that, we probably don't have much of a hand left anyway. So it's basically just kind of pay 5, get a 4/2 Ox, and draw 3 cards. Seems all right. Not sure how much play it's going to get, but I guess we'll see. Nadir Kraken. Yeah, I mentioned this guy in one of my box opening videos. I think I'm actually going to throw this in my Xur Stacks deck. So really kind of like this card. It's 2 blue and 1 for a creature Kraken. It's a 2/3. Pretty small Kraken, I guess, if you think about it. It's a 2/3, right? But I guess it just keeps getting bigger. Whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. So yeah, my Xur deck just, you know, like it just draws a lot of cards. So I think it would get really kind of good value out of this. And I mean, the deck only plays, it stacks. So I think I have like 6 or 8 creatures, something like that in the deck. So this will really help in sort of the early game, just putting up a bunch of little wimpy sort of 1/1 tentacle blocker type of dudes. But yeah, so I'm going to definitely be trying that in my Xur Stacks deck. I think it's a pretty cool card. And I do think that there's, you know, some standard potential with that card too. Dalakos, a Crafter of Wonders, so a red, a blue, and 1 legendary creature, Merfolk Artificer. And you can tap and add 2 colorless mana, spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts, and equip creatures you control have flying and haste. Okay, there we go. Another mythic, and it is the god Erebos the Bleak-Hearted. So 1 black and 3, legendary enchantment creature, god. Indestructible, as long as your devotion to black is less than 5. Erebos isn't a creature. And whenever another creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. And you can pay 1 black and 1, sacrifice another creature. Target creature gets -2, -1 until end of turn. Interesting sort of sack outlet and kind of removal, I guess, at the same time. And sort of gives you that static effect where you can always just pay 2 life and draw a card whenever something, a creature you control dies. So he's cool. I think I like the original Erebos better, but this guy I think is definitely worth noting as being, you know, definitely a build around card. So Banishing Light, so 2 or 1 white and 2 for an enchantment. When Banishing Light enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. So kind of cool to have like an O-ring type effect. Another Dalekos, that's a little bit disappointing. I'm not really going to be doing anything with him, so there's definitely some other cards I'd rather be seeing me get doubles or triples of for sure. Storm's Wrath's really cool. 2 red and 2. It's a sorcery, and Storm's Wrath deals 4 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. I think this is going to be a sideboard card that you're just going to be seeing even years from now in sideboard in, you know, sort of red deck or whatever, some sort of Jeskai control strategies and things like that. It's nice to have a board wipe that deals that much damage in red for sure. I mean, we've always kind of been stuck with things like Anger of the Gods and that, and a lot of times 3 damage just doesn't get there, so it's cool to see another Eat of Extinction. It's cool to see a red board sweeper doing 4. I think that's pretty solid, and I do think it will definitely see some sideboard play for sure. Another Nightmare Shepherd. So we're starting to get to the point where, you know, hitting quite a few duplicates. Protean Thaumaturge. Okay, so this guy is a human wizard for a 1 blue and 1. It has Constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Protean Thaumaturge become a copy of another target creature, except it has this ability. So it's kind of cool that it can become the copy of another creature and it retains that ability. So basically every time, you know, you play an enchantment, you can have it shift into something else. So pretty sweet. I think he definitely has potential, definitely in Commander, I think. All right, Timer calls the dead. So 1 black and 2. In the first 2 modes are, it's obviously a saga. The first 2 modes are put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then you may exile a creature or enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. And step 3 is you gain X life and scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control. Yes, sweet. I am super happy about getting my second Heliod the Sun Crowned. So this guy's going to be appearing everywhere in every format as far as I'm concerned. I mean, maybe not Legacy, right? Who knows, maybe Legacy, but definitely Standard. And you can bet your bottom dollar you're going to see a lot of this in Modern and Pioneer as well. Just combos with so many things. I mean, everybody knows about the Walking Ballista combo, right? So, you know, just combos with Walking Ballista for infinite life and damage. But in Modern, also combos with, if you had another sack outlet, combos with Kitchen Finks. And then, of course, it also combos with Spike Feeder. So, you know, and then in Standard here, it's just going to be sort of a good value engine in a mono white deck for sure. And then, you know, like I was saying, I was talking about this in one of my finance videos. If you're playing white in Commander, you know, there's almost no reason why you wouldn't just put this guy in any white Commander deck, unless it just really doesn't fit into your strategy, like you have 0 creatures or whatever, right? So yeah, he's a solid card, and we're going to be seeing a lot of him in a lot of formats for sure. Okay, another Elspeth Conquers Death. Another Dalekos. Wow. All right. Oh yeah, super happy that Field of Ruin is back. It's kind of funny. I've gone through, what, 45 packs almost, and this is my first Field of Ruin. That's a little bit interesting. It's I noticed that too in opening the actual paper packs as well. I think I was getting an average of 1 a box. So You know, there's been a lot of sort of discussion over the years about, is an uncommon, or, you know, is there uncommon rare cards? You know what I mean? So I think Field of Ruin for me so far has definitely been a rare type rarity, even though it is in the uncommon slot. But it's really nice to be seeing this back again. So I think this kind of is a card that just sort of always needs to be in rotation. So like I said, happy to see it back in standard. Wow, and another 9 Leah, so that's pretty sweet. I definitely cannot complain about the mythics I've been getting for sure. Okay, rare cards are always handy. Of course, the temples are back in this cycle too, so I'm sure you're all aware and know of those, but I really actually like the art on these. But yeah, all the temples basically have the same effect. They enter the battlefield tapped. When they do, you scry 1. Allure of the Unknown. So this is going to be an interesting commander card. I think this will definitely see some commander play. But so 1 red, 1 black, and 3, you reveal the top 6 cards of your library. An opponent exiles a non-land card from among them. Then you put the rest of the cards into your hand. That opponent may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So yeah, someone had pointed out in the comments, and they are absolutely correct. You basically ignore all the timing issues. The card that is getting exiled by your opponent, they get to do that basically right away as part of the resolution of Allure of the Unknown. But pretty sweet deal in Commander if you've got a buddy or someone you can kind of trust or you want to make a deal with. You know, they get 1 card and get to cast it right away. And then you get to put 5 cards in your hand. A pretty good solid deal in something like Commander for sure. And there's an Erebos' intervention. So there's one of these interventions in every color, and of course this is the black one. So for 1 black and X, at instant speed we choose 1. Target creature gets -X until end of turn, and you gain X life. Or exile up to twice X target cards from graveyards. Another Nylea Keen-Eyed. Well, maybe I might have to build a green deck instead of building that mono white deck I really wanted to build. Another Daxos, so that's good. That goes towards my deck strategy. Alright, something new. So Mantle of the Wolf. And this is 1 green and 3 for an enchantment, or it's an enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +4/+4. Pretty solid. And when Mantle of the Wolf is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create 2 green, 2/2 green wolf creature tokens. So really solid value on this card. Gonna be really good in a limited environment for sure, drafts and sealeds and things of that nature. I mean, you're getting an aura that gives one of your creatures +4/+4 for just 4 mana, and then if that creature happens to get killed, you get 2/2 green wolves out of the deal. So pretty solid for limited for sure. Alright, another Atris Oracle of Half-Truths. Another Tectonic Giant. So tomorrow's a big day, yeah? It is pre-releases. Bronzehide Lion. So 1 white and 1 green. It's a creature cat. Bronzehide Lion gains indestructible until end of turn if you pay a white and green, and when Bronzehide Lion dies, return it to the battlefield. It's an aura enchantment with enchant creature you control, and pay a green and a white. Enchanted creature gains indestructible until end of turn, and it loses all other abilities. Pretty interesting, has some value, some sort of recursive value when you end up losing it. Okay, Thassa's Oracle. So this card here combos with Hermit Druid to basically give you sort of an instant win con. if you don't run any basics in your deck. So something that definitely be you'll seeing in Commander. So THETOS Oracle is 2 blue. It's a creature, a merfolk wizard. When THETOS Oracle enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Put up to one of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. Alright, last pack, folks. Let's see what we get. Come on, Heliod number 3. Nope, we got Shatter the Sky, which is a new one too. So Shatter the Sky is 2 white and 2. Each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater draws a card, then destroy all creatures. So nice little interesting board wipe. Alright, I really hope you guys enjoyed this pack opening video. It's always nice to see the artwork through the lens that is Arena. Okay, we've done a bunch of box opening videos this week, so make sure you guys take a moment to check all those out. All right, bye for now.